and also they're able to effectively market them. It goes without saying that it's not enough just to be able to hook up to these commercial platforms such as Amazon, Flipkart, and ONDC, as I was mentioning, but we need to have an entire supply chain system to be able to succeed, including warehouses, including a good transportation system to be able to reach these across to the customers. So that's the direction I think we need to be headed. And all of that would happen only when we have a good substratum of digital infrastructure and digital systems to be able to coordinate across this entire supply chain. And that's what I think should be the subject of discussion, that how can we focus on good value chain based development to be able to propel rural prosperity through enterprises, micro enterprises, and supported by the digital innovations. And I'm sure that this event will bring out very good recommendations, very good findings that will propel rural prosperity, not only in India, but all over the world, and that we can continue to collaborate in all these endeavors, that whatever produce is made in India can go to other countries. Similarly, what produce is made in other countries can come to India and other developing countries through various mechanisms that we can develop and various recommendations that we can conjure during this event. And I wish the deliberations of this event great success, and I hope that all of us will greatly benefit from the recommendations and deliberations of this event. Thank you very much.
Sir has briefly explained the significance of collectivization, collaboration, then new product development, cluster development, and value chain development. Thank you so much, sir, for addressing the gathering. Dr. Bhimaraya Maitri, Director, IIM Nagpur, is a distinguished academic leader with extensive experience in management education and research. His experience spans strategic management, quality management, and digital transformation in business organizations. He has contributed significantly to developing management frameworks for cooperative enterprises and has been actively involved in capacity building programs for cooperative leaders. His research work focuses on sustainable business models and digital innovation in agricultural cooperatives, with numerous publications in international journals and several books to his credit. On this occasion, engage with the audience.
Very good morning, respected today's chief guest, Dr. Prashun Kumar Das, Secretary General, Apraka, Bangkok, Thailand, the Dynamic Director of Omnicom, Dr. Hima Yadav ji, and guest of honors, Dr. G. Narendra Kumar, IAS Director General, NIRD and PR Hyderabad, Mrs. Savitri Singh, Deputy Chief Executive Officer, NCUI New Delhi, Mrs. Samadhini, Managing Director, Sanasa International Limited, Sri Lanka, all the distinguished speakers, including Marathe Saab, and all the distinguished delegates coming from 13 countries, ladies and gentlemen. It is my proud privilege to be part of this conference, CICTAB International Conference, on very, very important subject, unleashing prosperity through cooperatives, digital innovation and value chain. So this conference and this place is important for three reasons. The first, today you know that India has become center point of the globe when it comes to digitalization. Whether it is UPI or ONDC, just now sir has told. So at government level, the kind of digitalization happened, it has nowhere happened. So that is number one. Number two, this is the country has a separate Ministry of Cooperation. There is a cooperative ministry. A very high level focus has been given for cooperative movement. And the third important point, Pune is within the country, historically, it is the epicenter of the cooperative movement, Pune. So being these three reasons, under the CICTAB and Omnicom, this conference being held, so this is a very, very significant, the location as well as country. If you look at this conference again, this is the year 2025, it is a cooperative year, 2025, so that also plays a very, very significant role. So Narendra Kumarji was talking about connectivity. I think it is extremely important to prosperity as well as improve the rural economy. Rural economy means, by and large, it is agriculture economy. So for that, connectivity is extremely important, and you, I think all the international delegates, you may be happy to know that our then Prime Minister Vajpayee, he was the first Prime Minister to think about Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana. So 1998, PMGSY, Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana, on three important reasons that scheme came into picture: school for children, hospital for women and children, and agriculture market for farmers. So based on these three, a smallest of the small ways to connect with the bigger village, and Panchayat used to decide, and it was started in 1998, and till today it is going on, and more than 5 lakh villages are connected through this. And probably this is the biggest, road transport connection happened and happening till today, so that basically those who never connected, they got connected today. And I must tell you, because I am a son of farmer, first generation educator, and when I used to go to the school where there is no bus, where there is a bus, used to be a kacha road, and where there is no bus, no roads. By walking, you can make a road. And I used to go to the school barefoot 10 kilometers because there was no bus, and by walking, we used to make a road. But today, we have traveled a lot, and today, best of the best roads, probably PMGSY roads are better than highways. Smallest of the small village. So I think that connectivity has made a biggest movement for improvement of the farmers' economy, as well as, again, this is another important scheme of Government of India. They have the connectivity, not only mobile, but through cooperative movement and farmer producer organizations. Government of Maharashtra has come out with the Magnet project, Maharashtra Agri-Business Network Society. It is ADB supported. So their farmers are trained to create awareness and use the digitalization, and farmer producer organizations how to take the cooperative movement to the next orbit, and also technology partners how to get into digitalization so that farmer can use the applications, apps. So sitting in their own city, they will come to know what is the price for orange in Jabalpur, Raipur, or in Pune, so that they can sell their products. So this is the movement already started, and I am sure this digital movement is going to bridge the gap between rural and urban. So rural economy by and large through cooperative movement. When it comes to the cooperation, I think it has been historically, traditionally, it is in Indian culture, Indian tradition. The competition world has come after industrialization from the West. And today, entire world is looking towards cooperation as a foundation for humanity, and also all together we can grow. That is possible through cooperation. So cooperative movement in India, I think the Maharashtra is one of the strongest state when it comes to cooperative movements and output and productivity out of the cooperation. Gujarat and also some part of West, Karnataka. So these are the three pockets, the biggest movement of cooperation, and successful results have come, and Amul and all the best examples of cooperative movement, and digitalization, and probably in India, I think Amul is a role model, sitting in any place, they will come to know how many the cows and what is the quantity of milk, and any cow is not well, and all those things sitting in the, in their office, one can make out. So digitalization also happened in many places, but still it has to reach for larger extent. So this conference, I am sure, for 3 days, today onwards up to 15, and there are about 50 speakers. They are going to address on various topics, including successful cooperative models and many topics. And I'm sure this conference, and coming from 13 countries, all the distinguished experts and participants, and so many thousands of years of experience in this area, is going to make a big difference, and recommendations definitely help a cooperative movement to move to the next orbit. With this, I thank the director of Omnicom for organizing this conference, timely conference, and also a need of an area when our Honorable Prime Minister's focus is lifestyle. So life for environment, and focus on rural economy. And keeping United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, these are all extremely important, and unless until rural economy grows, unless until all the 17 Sustainable Development Goals we don't meet, then probably it is difficult for the globe to keep sufficient natural resources and prosperity for many, many generations in future. So therefore, this conference is extremely important, and I'm sure deliberations, discussions will lead to very, very important, thoughtful roadmap for agriculture, economy, and the cooperative movement. With this, I wish a grand success of this conference for 3 days. Thank you very much. Namaskar.
Sir has briefly emphasized on connectivity, especially digital connectivity and digitalization in rural India. Thank you so much, sir, for your words of wisdom. Mrs. Samdani Kirwandenia is presently serving as Managing Director of Sanasa International, Sri Lanka, leading one of South Asia's most successful cooperative movements. Under her leadership, Sanasa has pioneered innovative approaches to microfinance and cooperative development, particularly focusing on women's empowerment and rural development. Her work has been instrumental in developing sustainable cooperative models that combine social impact with financial viability. She has extensive experience in cooperative governance and has implemented successful digital transformation initiatives in cooperative financial services. It is my honor to invite Mrs. Samdani Kirwandenia to share her insights with the audience.
Good morning, everyone. It's an honor to be present in this among the distinguished audience that has been gathered by Vermicon and CICTAB. And I am really delighted to represent Sri Lanka and Sanasa to share just a few thoughts on this special occasion on 2025 cooperative year of cooperatives. I am not going to share greater insight on this occasion because I was requested to share some greetings from Sri Lanka. In fact, it was the leader of Sanasa movement who was supposed to be here, who made the big innovation in Sri Lanka and presented the model of Sanasa, which is, when I was listening to the previous speakers, some of the big ideas that India is currently present into the world, and also to take the total India to a greater destination. I was thinking that over the last maybe 30-40 years in Sri Lanka, through Sanasa innovation, we were living with it, sir. So some of the learnings of gathering cooperatives with self-help groups and collectivization process and getting them into the value chains. Somewhere in a different journey, Sanasa as a single cooperative, not a national level cooperative, but we started from self-help group level. So it was not started from the top level, but self-help group level, from the bottom level, Sanasa began its journey. And we ended up creating our own bank, which is now listed government specialized bank. And we have a cooperative university and 2 insurance companies. So all these were created by self-help groups. So there is a model that I think, however small Sri Lanka is comparative to India, I think I am inviting India to come and learn a little bit more about how a single cooperative model started by poor people, mostly local people who had unlike India, which I'm so happy to hear that you started the process in 1998, and up to now you are continuing that process. Unfortunately for us in Sri Lanka, we kept on changing our development policies. So as a social movement process, started from the lower level to go into the model. To make a model, we had to grapple with so many changing governments, so many different policies. But the strength that I can share with the entire audience and with you all today is that if a community decides, a collective decide that we need a better destination for ourselves, and we have the strength in us, we have the correct social capital in us, we collect our intellectual capital with us, then we collect our financial capital, irrespective of the changes of the government, there's a journey to make, which is, I think, what we have, like I grew up with the cooperative movement and with the development of self-help group into, local cooperative, into a, district level, into national level, into a bank. And I led the bank at one point. So looking at that and being a researcher all along from 9 years old up to now, and even today I learned quite a lot. I would like to learn the 9 key measuring levels of how the Panchayat is looking at inclusivity. I think that is very critical, that if you are going to unleash the cooperative spirit and cooperative potential in the country, it is very critical that government, governance and regulation and leaders of the cooperatives cook it together. Because if we don't cook it together, what can happen is, yes, we will have the digitalization, we will have the inclusivity, we will have double, triple growth in terms of crores, but how are we going to be accountable to the sharing of wealth, sustainable development, a life for next generations to come? Because I think what the world currently, looking at how the world is getting polarized and the political economy is getting divided, I think world is looking for a new hero, new model. And South Asia, especially India, and the entire South Asia, I would say, East Asia, Asia, basically, we have a different way of presenting a model. I think we are strategically positioned in the history of, the civilization to show a different model. So when it is music to me, when India is becoming bigger, I hope it is not going to become bigger as America, because the air that comes to Sri Lanka last week, we couldn't breathe. It's not the air we created. So I hope when you are thinking of making India bigger and bigger, let's hope that it's going to be more sustainable, more livable, and more inclusive for all of us. So for that to happen, I think communities in cooperatives can borrow not just the management principles, not just the digitalization of private sector growth, but we have to also look at the principles of cooperatives. It comes from Schumacher's principles, I think. Small is beautiful, right? Big is big. I don't know whether it is actually beautiful when you become bigger. Let's make it bigger but be mindful of the small is beautiful concept, because I think the biggest thing that we can borrow from the cooperative sector in terms of growth potential is one for all for one. So if we develop one, all should prosper with it. So may we wish India to become big and prosper and take the entire South Asia into that prosperity. But in that process, may India not forget how biodiverse, how sustainable, how community conscious, and how secure we are if we are together. Like we don't really need prosperity to feel secure if we are together, right? If we are as a community together, and if we learn how to share our wealth in an inclusive manner, I think we can show the world that there is a different development model that can be followed. So I think world is waiting for that to see, and I wish the deliberations that we are having today and many more conferences to come, and I invite all of you to come to Sri Lanka for the International Cooperative Alliance International Conference, which we are hosting this time in Sri Lanka in November, and we are also having research conference in Sri Lanka. So I invite all of you to come. Let's keep deliberating these thoughts. Let's borrow from private sector. Let's borrow from any other country. But let's make sure that we retain the cooperative values and sustainability principles that the world can learn from South Asia and from cooperatives. I wish you all the very best, and thank you so much for giving us this recognition and inviting us for this conference, and wish you all a very happy deliberation. Thanks.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your insightful address and your emphasis on inclusive and community efforts. Mrs. Savitri Singh, she is currently serving as a Deputy Chief Executive Officer at NCUI. She brings over 30 years of experience with national and international cooperative organizations, having worked for 18 years with International Cooperative Alliance, Asia and Pacific, and collaborated with 109 cooperatives and government bodies across 32 countries in the Asia-Pacific region. She specializes in cooperative law and policy, administration, human resource development, and stakeholder relations. Mrs. Singh has in-depth knowledge of Indian cooperative movement. She is instrumental in initiating various policy and advocacy programs, women empowerment, and gender mainstreaming programs addressing social issues affecting cooperatives. I am delighted to invite Srimati Savitri Singh to address the gathering.
Thank you. Dear Dr. Hema Yadav, Dr. G. Narendra Kumar, IAS Director General, NIRD, Bhima Raya Maitri, Director, IIM Nagpur, Samadini Kiravendanaya, Managing Director, Sanasa, Sri Lanka, Dr. Prasoon Kumar Das, Secretary General, APRACA, Adharaniya Satish Marathi ji, one of the doyens of Indian cooperative movement, Dr. Praveen Reddy, Chairman of Mulkanur Cooperative, and Kokreji, the Chairman of Cosmos Bank, he has left. Dr. D. Rabi, Organizer, Coordinator of CICTAB, Dr. Badri from Nepal, my friend, all the international participants from various countries, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Nepal, Bhutan, and from Gambia and Nigeria as part of the CIRDAP network, and then members of APRACA and ARDO. Dear students, the faculty member, and my colleagues from the cooperative network who are present here, and all the government officials who are representing various ministries here today. सबको मेरा यथोचित, हिंदी में कहते हैं यथोचित, बड़ों को प्रणाम, छोटों को प्यार टाइप. And in English it is all due protocol observed. I am honored to be present here as one of the organizing committee member of this conference to deliberate on the theme Unleashing Prosperity Through Cooperative Digital Innovation and Value Chain. So since morning we are saying CICTAB, CICTAB, CICTAB. And the program title is also CICTAB. So for the people who are present here and don't know about CICTAB, I would like to inform you that this Center for International Cooperation and Training in Agricultural Banking is CICTAB. CICTAB is an organization that trains people in agricultural banking and rural development. It was established in 1983 by the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations, FAO, and the Government of India, the then Ministry of Agriculture, under which the cooperation was one of the departments. NCY was the custodian of this organization, which was housed in Vamnicom at that time, and Vamnicom was the part of NCY. Now the NCY is one of the eminent partners of this organization, and we are participating in various activities of CICTAB, and we are organizing various programs of CICTAB. So CICTAB has 35 members institution in South Asian Association of Regional Cooperation, SARC. So this is the brief introduction of this organization, which is gaining strength to strength since last so many years, and surviving, not only surviving, but thriving with various innovative programs. So I wish long live CICTAB. The platform brings together visionaries, policy makers, and cooperative pioneers to discuss the future of our movement. One of that holds the potential to transform millions of lives through collective action. As I'm coming from NCY, the National Cooperative Union of India, as the apex body of the Indian cooperative movement, has been at the forefront of promoting and strengthening cooperatives for over 9 decades. NCY was established in 1929 and represents the cooperative movement of India through 324 organizations representing 104 organizations. We are reaching out to the grassroots level cooperatives, which are 8.5 lakhs in number, representing 28 crores or 200 million individual members, making it the largest cooperative movement in the world. So we are proud of this bigness. Ms. Kirivendania. NCY's mission is to enhance cooperative education, capacity building, policy advocacy, and digital transformation to empower cooperative institutions and individuals at all levels. NCY has a training body known as National Center for Cooperative Education, which was established in 1958. This organization is conducting more than 200 programs, education and training programs, long and short-term programs, across the sectors across the country, training 7,000 to 8,000 individuals every year. NCI has constantly worked to ensure that cooperatives in India remain self-reliant, democratic, and inclusive. Through training programs, incubation centers, and advocacy efforts, we strive to support cooperatives across various sectors: agriculture, finance, women empowerment, and youth entrepreneurship is some of them. India, as I said, has 8.5 lakh cooperatives, serves 280 million members, making them the lifeline of rural development. The cooperative model is unique because it is people-driven, member-centric, and built on principles of mutual support. Unlike corporate enterprises that prioritize profit, cooperatives focus on collective well-being, equitable wealth distribution, and long-term sustainability. Whether it is Amul revolutionizing the dairy sector, IFCO, CRIFCO, and NAFED, and NCCF, etc., driving agricultural prosperity, and I would like to include Mulkanur also. Mr. Reddy is going to talk about Mulkanur, so I will not tell much here. Or cooperative banks ensuring financial inclusion, we have witnessed the transformative power of cooperation. And that is during the good time as well as during the bad time. And in recent memories, we have tsunami in 2004 and COVID-19 very recently. The world is changing, and so much we. In an era of dominated by technology and innovation, cooperatives must integrate digital solutions to improve efficiency, governance, and market access. Why I'm saying this? That world has already changed, and we had seen the world over economic recession in 2006, 2000, and etc., etc. The globalization, open market has already impacted very negatively to Indian cooperative movement. But Indian cooperative movement is very resilient, and we survived. And now we have taken lessons from the open economy. So now these are the new things, the technology and innovation, which is very important for our survival. And as always, I think, and I'm very confident that we have already taken note of it. We are sitting back and observing that what is going on and what is important for our survival, and we have taken all these changes in our stride. So at NCUI, we are actively working to bridge the digital divide through e-learning platforms for cooperative training, digital financial literacy programs to empower rural cooperatives, artificial intelligence and blockchain solution for transparency in cooperative transactions, e-commerce and market linkage to connect rural productivity with global buyers. So, what I'm saying is that we should not fear technology. When technology takes away some jobs, it creates more jobs. And we have seen it, we are experiencing it, and we have learned to live with it. So, digital transformation is not an option. It is a necessity if we want cooperatives to remain competitive, resilient, and impactful. So not only the cooperative, to the members as well, because what is cooperative without members? So if members want competitive, resilient, and impactful, we must embrace changes which is happening in the business sectors. And now I will talk about strengthening cooperative value chain, which is the topic of today's conference. So, sustainability and value chain integration are critical for cooperative growth. Cooperatives must focus on adopting sustainable and climate-smart agricultural practices, creating efficient farm-to-marketing linkage to ensure better income for members, strengthening primary, secondary, and apex cooperative structures for better governance, which our ministry and Honorable Minister of Cooperation and Home, Mr. Amit Shah, is reiterating again and again. He is saying that strengthen packs and make packs multi-purpose. So encouraging youth and women-led cooperatives to drive innovation and inclusivity. The Government of India recently announced world's largest grain storage plan in cooperative sector, which I think all of you must be aware. So as we are aware that storage is very important component of the value chain. And I would like to tell you a little bit, I would like to explain my point with some data here, that why the Government of India is calling upon to build storage. Because India holds 11%, 16 crore hectare of world's total cultivated area. That is 138 crore hectare and 18%, 140 crore of total world population, 790 crore. This means that to meet the food requirement of the 18% of world population, India only has 11% of cultivated land. So, based on the FAO statistical data 2021, total food grain production in India is 3. Now, the Ministry of Cooperation has started this plan to build the biggest storage. And I think it is going to change the agricultural value chain system in the country. At NCOI, we have been actively working with farmer producer organization, FPOs, and self-help groups to create robust cooperative supply chain that are efficient, ethical, and sustainable. And then I would like to talk a little bit more about that, how this storage system is going to be realized. So, recognize the significance of cooperatives as a potent force for economic growth. The Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi, has emphasized the need to harness their potential and foster their evolution into thriving business ventures, embodying the vision of Sahakar Se Samriddhi, that is prosperity through cooperation. And then Ministry of Cooperation is planning to help farmers and individuals build warehouses and storages by providing them loans and any other technical support they are requiring. So it is going to be a reality very soon. And then one of the NCOI's key focus area is gender equality and inclusion of youth in the cooperative movement. We believe, we don't have very clear data about women's involvement in cooperatives in India, but roughly there are 30% women at the membership level and around 10 to 15% women are at the leadership level, which is a very dismal representation of women into cooperatives. We believe that no cooperative can thrive without the active participation of women, because women's labor is amounting to 55% to 65% in all the agricultural and agriculture-related businesses where the largest number of cooperative members are coming from. Our NCUI women, in thousands of women becoming financially independent, access credit and build successful cooperative enterprises. From handicraft and dairy to microfinance and self-help group, women-led cooperatives have demonstrated remarkable success. The truly unleash prosperity through cooperatives, we must strengthen policy framework that supports cooperative-friendly regulations. At NCUI, we firmly believe that cooperatives are business enterprises with a difference. They are vehicle of economic independence at core and social progress, economic resilience, community empowerment, and building of sustainability. As we move forward, let us ensure that cooperatives continue to be bedrock of inclusive and sustainable development. The time is now to embark innovation, strengthen our value chain, and build a future where cooperation drives prosperity for all. I extend my sincere gratitude to CICTAB, Vamnicom, and all the esteemed organizers for bringing us together to discuss the future of cooperatives. Let us use this platform to forge new alliances, share knowledge, and take actionable steps towards a thriving cooperative ecosystem, and especially in the IYC 2025, to realize the vision of cooperatives build a better world. Thank you very much, madam, and all of you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your insightful address. I'm profusely delighted to introduce Dr. Prasoon Kumar Das, who is currently serving as Secretary General of APRACA, bringing extensive experience in agricultural finance and rural development across Asia Pacific. I now have the pleasure of inviting Dr. Prasoon Kumar Das to share his insights with the audience.
Thank you. Good morning. Thank you, Madam Hema Yadav, for inviting me here. We are part of the CICTAB development since long. APRACA is working closely with CICTAB. I would like to keep my short speech on as a keynote. So we have our distinguished guests on the dais who are more knowledgeable than me. I'm out of this country for the last 16 years. However, I follow everything what is happening here, being an Indian, proud Indian. What I found that the topic is important. However, we need to little bit, because Vamnicom is the host of CICTAB, and Vamnicom is offering a lot of capacity building support to the cooperative sector, not only in India, but across the South Asian region, as well as global. So we need to be a little bit taxonomy of the digitization and all. Actually, if we see, digitization has three parts. One, which we generally call as a digitization, which is different than digitalization, and also different than digital transformation. So what actually we want, three level. We start with the digitization, which adopting the IT into our system, which I think we have done in India since long, maybe 30 years back. now we have adopted digitalization, where we are trying to replace the human intervention with the IT intervention, as our colleagues have already said. But the digital transformation which we are at the moment we are trying to develop. And under the digital transformation, one of them is the digital innovation. The other part which we are also missing is the ethical digital transformation. How we add ethics into our digital innovation and digital transformation. So that's very important point for our digital transformation and digital innovation. So there is a need across in the financial system, because cooperative we consider also as a very important financial entity, that cooperatives are intermediary agencies. They are not bank, they are not microfinance, so they basically will only support the poor farmer or non-farmer entities. But that myth has to be broken, because this year we have entered into the International Year of Cooperatives, which actually given us the opportunity to look back and resettle our goals and objectives for the cooperative. Are we still happy to be only an intermediary agency, or we want to lead? I think our most learned people here, all of them will agree that we need to lead. Madam Samadani already said that we need to lead. But we are still at the intermediary agency. Now, how to do that? So there are many ways and means, but the pathways, what we actually see from my experiences in the global arena, with special reference to the Asia-Pacific region, that we need to understand the value chain, as Madam Savitri ji was talking about, that the downstream of the value chain where cooperative has nothing to do. Cooperatives are active in the upstream, that is with the producers, mostly. Why not we also go into the downstream of the value chain? And that is one of the pathway. As Madam was telling, that we are developing Gramin Bhandaran. I think I remember when I was working in India with a bank, we used to know about the NABARD program on Gramin Bhandaran Yojana, which is rural go down scheme. Long back, I think 15, 20 years back. So we started thinking that time, but we are still thinking about the 47% only we are covering, or maybe 60%. So rest of them, who will take care? When you are supporting the upstream, why not go to the downstream also? So that is one of the major area. I think I need to give you one example, very interesting example from Thailand. I'm based in Thailand for last 11 years. What I have seen, that they also have the cooperatives, I mean very thriving cooperatives. But the most interesting part of the cooperative is that they have an agricultural marketing cooperative which is completely independent and different from the normal service cooperatives. It means that they have understood this agricultural marketing cooperative, where maybe the farmers are member, may not be. The others are member, the other value chain actors, they are the members of that cooperative. It means that it is the value chain which started working well. And now, if you see Thailand, the food loss in the value chain is below 3%. Whereas in India, the food loss in the value chain is more than 25%. So that is the difference. So we have to think little bit, of what we are doing currently. The second pathway, I think, is the building capacity. We talk about building capacity. We are talking about it for, I think, many years, 70 years, 100 years. But where we are emphasizing the capacity building, most of the cases in India is sensitization, not capacity building. So there is a fine line between sensitizing the cooperative leaders and building the capacity of the cooperative cadres. So cadre and leaders has to be differentiated, and sensitization and capacity building has to be differentiated based on the commodities. Because for rice, we need a different kind of a capacity building than chili. I was talking with, yesterday I had a call with HIL, that is the biggest government insecticide company. They were telling me that in Andhra Pradesh, they provide 6 times pesticide in chili. Can you imagine? 13 times in apple. How you will sell it to the outer world? What is the traceability of this? So we need to now change. Our cooperative people need to be trained on the traceability, which is also part of the digitalization transformation. So traceability and usage of, that is a purely technical side. I'm not an entomologist, but what I understand that how many times you will be using it and what is good for the health has to be added. What Madam Samadhani was also telling, that how to make it more sustainable. So I think these are the 2 pathways if we consider for a short term, maybe for the next 5 years, that will be a great support to the cooperative movement and the cooperative development of this country as well as the global arena. I stop here. Thank you very much for your listening. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Sir has emphasized involvement of cooperatives in value chain development, then building capacity and digital ethical transformation. Thank you so much, sir, for your words of wisdom. Now it is time for felicitation of our guests. I would request Dr. Hema Yadav, Director, CICTAB and Vamnicom, to present token of gratitude to Dr. Prasun Kumar Das, Secretary General, APRACA. This token of gratitude contains the Oshibana paintings and the book on collective perspective, which is a compilation of 75 cooperatives from India, authored by Dr. Hema Yadav. I again request Director, CICTAB and Vamnicom to present token of gratitude to Dr. G. Narendra Kumar. Okay. A token of gratitude to Dr. B. Miraya Maitri. A token of gratitude to Mrs. Samdani Kirwandenia. And a token of gratitude to Mrs. Savitri Singh. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, dignitaries. Now let us extend our heartfelt gratitude to all who made this inaugural event possible. I would like to invite Professor Shantanu Ghosh, Registrar Vamnicom, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Good afternoon to all. It's my great pleasure to be here as on today amidst the respected dignitaries and the participants of this international conference on unleashing prosperity through cooperatives. It's digital innovations and value chain held at Vamnicom from 13th to 15th of February 2025. At the outset, I would like to take the opportunity to thank the dignitaries who are present with us today, especially Dr. Prasun Kumar Das, Secretary General, APRACA, Mrs. Samdini Kidwania, Managing Director, Sanasa International, Sri Lanka, Dr. Bhimaraya Maitri, Director, IIM Nagpur, Dr. G. Narendra Kumar, IAS Director General, NIRD and Panchayati Raj, Madam Savitri Singh, Deputy Chief Executive Officer, NCY, and I, on behalf of myself, on behalf of CICTAB, on behalf of my director, Dr. Hema Jadhav, and on behalf of Ministry of Cooperation, Government of India, extend our heartfelt thanks to all the dignitaries and participants who have joined with us in this August occasion. Especially I would like to quote Professor Prasun Kumar Das, Secretary General APARCA, who has given us some thought for food today for this ongoing 3 days conference. He has been categorically differentiated between the digitalization and digital transformation. We are on the verge of digital transformation through cooperatives, which will show the directions of future. On this eve of International Cooperative Year 2025, we have to take up the progress towards prosperity with the thoughtful provocations of cooperatives and its digitalization, and its contribution in the value chain system. All the dignitaries on the dais have contributed and gave us some thought-provoking initiatives that we can carry forward in the coming 3 days. We are extremely thankful to Mrs. Samdini Kidwania, Managing Director, Sansa International, Sri Lanka, who not only gave us the example that how a humble from self-help group, the small self-help group could reach to the level of banks, to the level of a national cooperative federations, and they are running the insurance companies. That is definitely an eye-opener for all of us, those who are trying and are associated with the cooperatives. Finally, I would like to thank all the dignitaries and all the participants who have come from these 12 countries, in total 35 participants who have joined for this program in this inaugural functions. I would be missing my responsibility in thanking my colleagues, entire team of Vamnicom, its faculty and staff, who has been constantly working to make this program a successful one. Finally, last but not the least, we would I would extend my thanks to my director, Dr. Hema Jadhav, who consistently monitored and guided all of us towards each and every aspects of this particular conference to make it successful one. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Now I request everyone present over here to please rise for the national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मागे गाहे तव जय गाथा जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे.
Thank you, everyone. Now we will proceed to take group photo with dignitaries. I request everyone to gather on the lawn. After the group photo, everyone is invited to the cafeteria for refreshments, and we will begin our first plenary session in the Jubilee Hall after 30 minutes. Thank you so much. Okay. Okay. Please proceed to the inaugural of exhibition. There is a slight correction. After the photo, we will proceed to the exhibition, and after that, to the refreshments. Thank you so much. Please proceed to take group photo with the dignitaries at the lawn, and after that we will proceed to exhibition.
अनाउन्समेंट करायचे दुपारी 2 वाजता एक सेशन आहे केस स्टडी शोकेसचं त्यांच्या ऑर्गनायझेशनबद्दल जर त्यांना ते प्रेझेंट करायचं असेल तर ते पीपीटीज वगैरे अगोदर माझ्याजवळ पाठवायचे. तो एक फॉर्म आहे तो फॉर्म आपण त्यांना देतो.
सगळे ग्रुप नाही आहे का यांचा? दोन ओके. Ladies, hello. At 2 p.m. there is a session of case study showcase that successful cooperative models. Those who want to share their insights or those who want to present, they can submit their PPTs to Priyanka ma'am. Those who want to present a case study, they can share their PPTs in the WhatsApp group. Okay. All participants are requested to proceed to the lawn to take a group photo with dignitaries.
Yes, sure.
या दोघांना पण.
Hello, 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 my
में खेती होती है। विश्व के कुल क्षेत्रफल में 2 से 3% हिस्सा भारत का है, जिसमें विश्व की 17.7% आबादी रहती है।
खाने के तेल का आयात हो, दाल का आयात हो, मछली के चारे का आयात हो, फूड सेक्टर में प्रोसेस और अन्य उत्पादों का आयात हो, इस पर हम हर वर्ष 2 से 2.5 लाख करोड़ रुपया हम खर्च करते हैं, जो पैसा विदेश जाता है। यानी ये पैसा विदेश भेजना पड़ता है। ये भारत जैसे अन्न प्रधान देश के लिए क्या सही बात है क्या? इतने बड़े होनहार सहकारी क्षेत्र का नेतृत्व मेरे सामने बैठा है, तो मैं स्वाभाविक रूप से आपसे अपेक्षा करता हूं कि हमें क्रांति की दिशा में जाना है।
इतनी बड़ी आबादी वाले देश की खाद्य सुरक्षा को सुनिश्चित करने के लिए उत्पादन बढ़ाने की आवश्यकता है। किसान की खेती की जमीन को तो नहीं बढ़ाया जा सकता, पर उससे उगने वाले उत्पादन को बढ़ाया जा सकता है, और इस बढ़े हुए उत्पादन से किसान की आमदनी भी बढ़ेगी। फसल की गुणवत्ता और अधिक उत्पादन अनेक कारणों पर निर्भर करता है, पर बीज उसका मूल है। अच्छा बीज तो अच्छी फसल। आज सभी किसानों को उन्नत बीज नहीं मिल पाते। फसल विशेष के कुल उत्पादन में उन्नत बीजों का प्रत्यक्ष योगदान लगभग 15 से 20% है, जिसे अन्य निविष्टियों के कुशल प्रबंधन से 45% तक बढ़ाया जा सकता है। इस कमी को पूरा करने के लिए माननीय प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी के नेतृत्व तथा श्री अमित शाह माननीय गृह एवं सहकारिता मंत्री के कुशल मार्गदर्शन में सहकारिता मंत्रालय ने भारतीय बीज सहकारी समिति का गठन किया है। इफको, क्रिबको, नेफेड, एनडीडीबी और एनसीडीसी ने मिलकर भारतीय बीज सहकारी समिति की स्थापना की है। बीज व्यवसाय में अभिरुचि रखने वाली प्राथमिक से लेकर राष्ट्रीय स्तर की सभी सहकारी समितियां इसका सदस्य बन सकती हैं। भारतीय बीज सहकारी समिति अपने सदस्यों को गुणवत्ता वाले बीजों के उत्पादन, प्रसंस्करण, वितरण और इस कार्य से जुड़ी अन्य सुविधाएं प्रदान करेगी। भारतीय कृषि अनुसंधान परिषद भी इस समिति को तकनीकी सहयोग देगी। सरकार के अन्य मंत्रालयों, संस्थानों और प्रमुख सहकारी समितियों से भी इस समिति को सहयोग मिलेगा। भारतीय बीज समिति राष्ट्र स्तर पर एक बड़े ब्रांड नाम के तहत उन्नत बीजों का उत्पादन और वितरण का काम करेगी। इस प्रक्रिया से जुड़े सभी कार्यकलापों जैसे प्रापण, भंडारण, प्रसंस्करण, विपणन, ब्रांडिंग, लेबलिंग, पैकेजिंग, प्रमाणन, शोध एवं विकास आदि में ये समिति अपने सदस्यों का मार्गदर्शन और सहयोग करेगी। सहकारी बीज उत्पादकों द्वारा जो भी बीज उत्पादित किया जाएगा, उसे मौजूदा बाजार की तुलना में पैक्स द्वारा अच्छी दर पर खरीदा जाएगा।
छोटे किसान बीज की खेती नहीं कर सकते। सीड्स का डेवलपमेंट करना है तो बड़ी कंपनियां इनको मौका नहीं देती। जिनके पास 15 एकड़, 20 एकड़, 15 हेक्टर, 30 हेक्टर भूमि है, उसी को देती थी। अब आपके पास सिर्फ 2.5 बीघा मतलब 1.25 एकड़ भूमि है, तो आप बीज का प्रोडक्शन कर सकते हो। ये मल्टी स्टेट सीड्स कोऑपरेटिव आपका बीज ले लेगी, आपको बीज बनाने का सर्टिफिकेशन भी करेगी और आपके बीज को वो अपने ब्रांड के साथ भारत के और विश्व के बाजार में भी बेचेगी, जिससे किसान ज्यादा प्रोडक्टिव क्रॉप अपने खेत के अंदर कर पाएगा।
भारतीय बीज सहकारी समिति के प्रयासों से न केवल भारत की खाद्य जरूरतें पूरी होंगी,